everyone, my name is Justin Patton. Welcome back to the Auburn University RFID lab. A few updates for you today. We just got back from a meeting with IATA. Cynthia and I spent some time over there working on flyaway parts tagging and then also looking at cabin compliance in several use cases. We're looking very heavily at alignment between standards and technology, between the manufacturers of the airplanes and the airlines that are using these. There's a huge growth area in that space. You've probably seen a lot of things that are going on with some of the airlines and RFID in the past year or two. We're expecting that growth curve to continue significantly in the future. And to support that, we are rolling out a data conformance certification program here at Auburn. There are some high memory tags that are going on a lot of flyaway aircraft parts and other aircraft parts because the data requirements are much higher than a normal EPC tag. We're doing some testing to ensure that the suppliers are accurately encoding these items before they go to the aircraft manufacturers themselves. Beyond that, in talking to the airlines and the airframe manufacturers, we found that there's a huge demand for performance and quality testing to make sure that we are getting tags on parts and tagged items that are going to read in their various different use cases, and also to make sure that they're getting good quality tags on those products in the future. So we're going to see lots more of different types of tags, both in the cabin and on the aircraft themselves. And that section of the lab is going to continue to expand. And then finally, we are looking at a primary business case map. You've probably seen this in some of the previous research studies that we have for our white paper on the 50 use cases in RFID retail supply chain. We are adapting that also for aerospace and aviation manufacturing and trying to address some of their specific needs and use cases to help them drill down into a holistic business case for RFID as they stand up several different projects for operations. And on a different front, on the retail side of the house, the brand to retail study is continuing to gather steam and grow. We are doing a lot of work now. We've been looking at blue jeans and basics and underwear for 12 years now with RFID tagged items. What we're doing is we are looking at actual data exchange between the brands and the retailers themselves. So a lot of brands are currently standing up RFID data capture operations within their distribution centers, with the primary business value focusing on outbound auditing so that we can do full case compliance on everything that's coming out of those DCs, and then also inbound vendor scorecarding. As we already know, the retailers are reading the RFID tags when they come into their facilities. So the next logical step is we compare what these brands are scanning outbound on their tagged items, and we compare what the retailers are scanning inbound on these same tagged items. And now we have individual serialized item records to compare between the two for claims compliance, electronic proof of delivery, just general accuracy of shipments and shrinkage. This is huge. This is a game changer in terms of the way that we are processing retail items and shipment. Just got back from a trip from North Carolina last week. We went and visited 5 DCs with 5 different brands. We are standing up several different brands. Forthcoming, we'll have a kind of a release of the brands and the retailers that are participating in this together. We're setting up the whole idea of the outbound to the inbound, bookending some of these actual transactions, and then we're going to start pulling data on how accurately we're pulling data on each end, and then also how that data exchange and data transfer is going to happen. And this is really important because that actual data exchange, the mechanisms for how that's going to work, there's a lot of debate on that. EPCIS is something that we've been really itching to be able to implement and use over the last few years. There's a lot of activity on blockchain. We mentioned that last time as well. So there's a heavily renewed interest in data exchange in general and how serialized RFID is going to fit into that. And this whole project dovetails perfectly. So it's going to be a big year for retail, a lot of expansion. If we can start proving this business value back to the brands, which I know we can, it's going to make it even easier and faster to adopt than it was before. I'm attending a GSMP meeting for GS1 in New Jersey on March 23rd. We have a peer-to-peer group, and we're going to kind of circle up on a lot of the early stage findings on this as well. So we really thank GS1 for helping us to put this together and support the project. And then finally, annual report. So the annual report is done. It is ready to go. We just did the last final few spell checks. So that should be releasing here in the next few weeks. So expect that soon, especially for those of you who are subscribing to the newsletter. If you're not subscribing to the newsletter, here's a shameless plug. Go do it, and you'll see the annual report and a full breakdown of everything that we did last year. Until then, thank you very much, and I will see you all next month.